Friday and you see this lovely face again, so you know what time it is. We're at the zoo for another segment of Zoo to You with Mr. Jody Nobles, the curator himself. Now, I almost thought I'd never say these words come out my mouth. Hook 'em horns. That's what we're talking about today. Some Longhorns. Mr. Jody, can you tell us where did these Texas Longhorns come from?
Well, originally the Spanish brought them into the Caribbean and into Mexico as a food source, the Spanish conquistadors.
Okay.
And they moved up into Texas, and when this became the United States, or prior to that, we started domesticating them and trying to use them as a crop, per se.
Okay.
As the buffalo died out and were hunted out, they moved up through the country to fill in that area.
Gotcha.
They're the longest horns of all cows. They can actually, the record I think is 10 foot from tip to tip. These were real hardy cows. These are actually fat Longhorns compared to what I'm used to seeing. They can make gains on their body from bad grazing. Thin grazing, low quality graze, they do fairly well on. The main thing about a Longhorn is they do not have much marbling in the meat. Anybody that's ever bought a steak, if you go there and you look at it and you see the marbling in the meat, you know it's gonna be tender when you cook it. I'm gonna say you cut you a steak off one of these, you'll be chewing on it for 2 days. Every time I've ever had a Longhorn slaughtered, and my ex-wife, Daddy, raised one on the mash out of his whiskey still. And when they slaughtered it, they actually had to put beef fat with it to make hamburger meat. They just do not have a very tender meat. That's why they're not, besides the horns, but that's why they're not used as a meat industry. They're more of a exotic animal to be watched, and also in the rodeo profession. It has roping and even Longhorn. They're hard to handle because of their horns.
Yes, sir. Now, Mr. Jody, I knew it was the reason I didn't eat steak at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, now,
yeah. I'm playing. Now, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Magamoo and how her horns weigh about 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. These horns look a lot bigger than those horns on Magamoo. Are they sort of related to the same thing, or how? Well,
they are. They're not as wide, and they don't have as much blood flowing through them.
Gotcha.
An old stockman's tale is, if you look right at his head and you count the wrinkles back to the point, it will give you an approximate estimation of the age of that animal.
Okay.
And on the Watusis, they're smooth and doesn't have that.
Okay. What's an interesting fact that the viewing audience should know about a Texas Longhorn, and maybe they didn't know, that you're going to educate them?
Well, let's say 100 years ago, that animal was used. Every part of it was used at some point on the homestead.
Yes, sir.
The Longhorns could raise in, like I say, cactus bad environments. They would kill them and eat them for the meat. They bred them, but they used the horns, the hides, the bones, everything for making furniture. I don't mean nice furniture. It was just furniture to have furniture.
Yes, sir.
They made them out of the horns and the hides.
Oh man, that's a lot of horns you got to make right there. Mr. Jody, if someone wants to come to the Louisiana Purchase Gardens and Zoo and look at some of these Texas Longhorns, how can they do so?
Well, the only way you're going to see the Longhorns is on the boat ride.
Okay.
Or the train. You can see them from the train.
Okay. And their life expectancy, how long do you expect Longhorns to generally live or be around?
Well, in all honesty, they say 22 years. Again, my personal experience, most bovine, 10 or 12 years is the end of their life expectancy. They start running into everything from foot problems, but they actually shed their teeth and they can't graze on grass.
Oh, wow, that is very interesting.
A cow grabs the grass with its tongue and pulls it up and bites it off with its teeth. And when them teeth are gone, it say a third of what it actually can eat.
Oh, wow. Well, you quite literally learn something new every day. Mr. Jody, I want to thank you as always for taking some time out of your day and educating our viewing audience about a Texas Longhorn. Your time is greatly appreciated.
I'm just proud.